All right. So I think, yeah, Miriam, you can come on, turn on your camera and unmute yourself and come on. Um, I'm really excited to hear about Illinois Solar for All. I was only in the last year introduced to this program. And at Shy Hack Night, there's a group of us, a climate change breakout group actually, that has been working on climate change related projects. And so I've learned about that program, and I'm really excited to learn more about it. So really excited that you're here and can't wait to hear more. So without further ado, Myriam Perez.
Thank you so much, Derek. I really appreciate the introduction. Now, do I go ahead and share the screen now, or
Yeah, go ahead and share your slides.
okay,
Yeah.
let me make sure. Yes, thank you so much for that introduction. My name is Myriam Yvette Perez, and welcome to this solar energy and savings workshop. I work at a Just Harvest as a energy outreach coordinator and organizer. And I got this job thanks to the Illinois Solar for All grant, which gave out grants to nonprofits in all throughout the state of Illinois to give education on what is solar energy, what is renewable energy, and how we can see savings through these programs. And to give a little bit background or more intro about myself, I before I took on this role in 2021, I worked as a saleswoman for a private solar company, and that just wasn't working out for me. It was a lot of miscommunication and competition to just make a sale, and disregard the value of the customer and the whole transition and process of what's going on transitioning to solar energy. And at Just Harvest, our mission here is to fight poverty and hunger in the Rogers Park and Greater Chicago communities by providing nutritious meals daily while cultivating community and economic development and organizing across racial, cultural, and social economic lines in order to create a more just society. And we are open every day from 12 to 2 p.m., providing a community meal. And it's sit-in and takeout. Because of COVID, we've opened that up also in our pantry that we have weekly. We've added grocery delivery. So if you know anybody who lives in 60626 or 45 and they can't get to a pantry and need food delivery, we provide that here to Just Harvest. And what provides these ingredients to our community meals and to our food pantry is our AWA program, which is an urban agricultural apprentice program where we employ people to learn how to plant, harvest, and make profit out of their harvest to put back into the community. There are after school programming for fifth graders, and after school programs for fifth graders that started here at Gale Elementary. And we're located here at 7649 North Paulina. Here's the number. That is Just Harvest. And the agenda for today is, what is Illinois Solar for All? What is solar energy? The programs in Illinois Solar for All, what makes you eligible, and the benefits. And if we have some time, Q&A, so questions and just comments, overall feedback about having this conversation more with our community and learning more about programs like this that are available to us. I qualify for this program, and knowing if our neighbors are eligible for these programs and getting us signed up. So this program was created by the Future Energy Jobs Act, FEJA, in 2016. And in 2021, that program funding expanded by the Climate and Equitable Jobs Act, CEJA. And this meets a renewable energy goal for 100% clean energy by 2050. And eligible participants can receive affordable solar installations and save money on their electric bills. And households that do not qualify for Illinois Solar for All program can participate in Illinois Shines, another solar incentive program that uses the same approved vendor list of Illinois Solar for All. Yes, if you don't see yourself in this program, there is Illinois Shines, and that is a program that is also through the state of Illinois. And what will Illinois Solar for All accomplish? It increases availability to solar energy in income eligible and environmental justice communities. It creates measurable cost savings for participants. It protects consumers, and it creates jobs in underdeserved communities. And here is for what is solar energy. It is electromagnetic energy transmitted from the sun. Solar panels, solar PV system captures that sunlight and convert it to energy. A fact is that the sun delivers more energy to Earth in 1 hour than is currently used by the entire human population in 1 year. And that's just thinking about how powerful the sun is and how we have the ability and science to take that energy and use it every day, is what I wanted to kind of envision. And if you are a homeowner and you thought about what does that look like to put solar panels on your property, you have the natural sunlight, then you have the PV panel that collects a direct current, and then you have your inverter that turns that direct current into alternating current into your home, and that electrical panel, which you have now, that is now receiving the solar energy and it's sending it to your home appliances, and you're using it in your, like you are now, you're using it in your, to turn on a light bulb, to turn on your fridge, turn on your TV. And some of these solar companies have a monitoring system, like an app that you can see, that you can use on your phone to see how much energy your panels are receiving and how much is being sent to the grid. And this is just information that you will have at the palm of your hand. And a question here is, what happens to the leftover electricity from your system? This is for most homeowners, that the excess electricity is sent back to the power grid. If the home has a battery system, the excess electricity can be stored and used later when it is needed. Net metering is an agreement between you and your electricity supplier, with each kilowatt hour you sell appearing as a credit on your electricity bill. And this is what happens. This is, if you have the question, what's happening to the extra power that you're generating with your now system on your home, that happens. And these are just some options that the approved vendors for Illinois Solar for All can provide. And another question here is there enough sunlight for solar in Illinois? Yes, there is for solar in Illinois. Even if we don't receive as much sunlight as California, Arizona, or New Mexico, Illinois can still harness the power of the sun for our homes, and enough for us to save money on our electric bills. And for example, we have monocrystalline solar panels that collect UV rays to create solar power. In Chicago, this is needed for seasons like fall and winter. Now that it's coming, although we don't feel the sun every day, there is technology to capture the UV rays and make power out of that for us to use. And if you are still not sure about solar energy and you're just looking for information, here is this website called Google Project Sunroof, and you can put your address. I put here just harvest address, and it tells you how many hours of usable sunlight per year and how much square feet available for solar panels. And the brighter the roof, the more sun it's receiving. So if you see like a darker red, it's not really receiving a lot of sunlight. but yet whatever information you may have, they'll give you also a potential savings that you may see for trying out solar panels. And through this program, the Illinois Solar for All, the people who install solar PV systems, the solar panels, are developed by the approved vendors. I mentioned that before, how this approved vendor list is also the same as Illinois Shines. So if you've heard of either or, they use the same approved vendor list, which is a list of solar companies that are vetted and approved by the program administrator. And they must meet rigorous program requirements to be on this list. So it means that all eligible solar projects are offered to participants with no upfront costs and any ongoing costs. And fees do not exceed 50% of the value of energy generated by the system. And approved vendors must demonstrate that a minimum number of hours performed during the installation process are completed by qualified job trainings. And these job trainings come from programs implemented by Illinois Solar for All and other organizations in the area. If you go to illinoissfa.com, you'll be able to see the available job training programs in your area to prepare you to do a job on solar panels in your community. So that is information of what is solar energy, and now we are going to go into what are the 3 programs to Illinois Solar for All. And the 3 programs are for renters. The second is for homeowners and building owners, and the third is for nonprofits and public facilities. Renters are people who receive an electricity bill and can subscribe to a community solar project. A solar project is installed at a site served by their electrical utility, and the subscriber receives credits on their electric bill. Eligible renters can also talk to their landlords about installing a residential solar system or solar project, and that is installed on their property and offsets the property's energy use, and tenants are required to see those savings. And here is a video on what is community solar, just to explain more.
Interested in the benefits of solar energy without the ability to install solar panels? Community Solar allows participants to benefit from solar energy without installing panels on their own properties. This option is available for renters that have their own electricity account and homeowners whose home may not be a good fit for solar panels. Through Community Solar, you can subscribe to a portion of a solar system in your utility territory that is located off-site and receive credits on your electricity bill. Credits are based on the electricity generated by the solar system.
Hi, my name is Elizabeth Corrado, and I manage public sector programs at Elevate. Educating people about the benefits of community solar is an important way to advance Elevate's mission of equity through climate action. In community solar, participants don't need to worry about maintenance, and they don't need to be homeowners, which makes solar an option for more people. I would encourage anyone interested in community solar to check out Elevate's website to learn more about our solar equity work.
If you are interested in learning more, please visit elevatenp.org.
Thank you. Can you still see me? We're going forward.
Yeah, you're good.
Okay. And now the second subprogram to Illinois Solar for All is for homeowners and building owners. Eligible homeowners can install a residential solar project on their property. A solar project is installed on their home's roof or yard and offsets their energy use, and they see savings on their electric costs. Eligible homeowners can also subscribe to a community solar project. A solar project is installed at a site served by their electrical utility, and the subscriber receives credits on their electric bill. And here is Maria Cunningham. She's a participant of Illinois Solar for All. So I'm gonna go ahead and give her testimony.
Hello, my name is Marie Cunningham from Chicago. I'm in the Roseland area, and I just want to tell you about Solar for All. I can honestly tell you it has saved me a lot of money. At first I was skeptical. I was nervous. I wasn't sure if it was they were telling the truth. Being an older lady, you know, and I'm considered a senior, they have so many gimmicks and so many fraud, and so I was nervous. But with BJ, I was comfortable. She explained everything to me, and at that point, I let my guard down, and I was able to hear what she was actually trying to help me to help myself, help me to save money, help me to allow this program to come into my home and to work for me. I will recommend it to anybody because I actually see that it works. I am truly a witness that if you give them a try, I don't think you'll be disappointed. I would recommend it because Solar for All is for all. You know, they don't discriminate. It's about all of us trying to help one another save money and to do the right thing as far as making our homes where we can afford them. So yes, I recommend Solar for All. The sun is where the solo is. So they talking to each other, look. Save Marie money. Save Marie money. Oh, that is the truth. Sun, house. See that? They go together. Solar panels. It's working for me. I would recommend it.
And there is a website that I mentioned, illinoissfa.com, and that's where you'll be able to see more testimonies and a name that she brought up. That's a approved vendor list, an approved vendor that's on the Illinois Solar for All approved vendor list, and that is, and that was our second subprogram, and this is our third subprogram to Illinois Solar for All that is for nonprofits and public facilities. Eligible organizations can install a solar project on their property. The solar installation offsets their energy use, and the organization sees savings on their electric costs. Eligible organizations can also be the anchor tenant of a community solar project. A solar project is installed at a site served by their electrical utility. The organization subscribes a large share of the installation, and the organization receives credits on their electric bill. And here is a participant for the Illinois Solar for All nonprofit and public facilities subprogram.
Okay. Hi, I'm Ginger Mills, and I am the Director of Advancement for Cunningham Children's Home. I oversee the marketing, fundraising, and public relations initiatives for Cunningham, and we are really smack dab in the middle of a beautiful campus that has been around for 125 years. We are a nonprofit agency in which we worked last year with 777 youth, adults, and families who are experiencing difficult life situations. We were looking for ways to stretch our resources, being a nonprofit agency, and so it really made economic sense to consider Solar for All. In February of 2019, we opened the Knoll Education Center, and it's really a state-of-the-art building inside, and it meets the sensory needs for our kids, and it really is an environment that works well for their learning. Now that we have solar on the outside of the NEC, we are a state-of-the-art building both inside and outside. It really was an easy process from the application process all the way to the installation. There were minimum disruptions as far as installation. We were told along the way of what to expect. we will save over $16,000 a year, which will help us now direct some of those resources to the youth and families that we serve and to provide the critical needs for them. Whether you're a nonprofit or whether you're a private homeowner, this is something that I would really recommend considering, not only because of the cost savings, but because of the savings to the environment. I recommend Solar for All.
This is on the website for Illinois Solar, SFA.com. So you go ahead and right. Okay.
Okay. Hi,
It looks like am I in full view? Okay, so I'm just gonna keep going because let's see, am I? Oh my gosh. Okay, and the job training, just some information about the job training. So these approved solar companies, which I've said as approved vendors, are required to hire job trainees to work on a percentage of their projects. And job trainings must come from qualified training programs. And to locate a job training program, you can go to illinoissfa.com job training /job training. And what makes you eligible to this program, to Illinois Solar for All. So here's a maximum income for households to be eligible for Illinois Solar for All. So if you live in Cook County, here is the amount of money that you need to make at least at or below. So for example, if there are 4 in your household and everybody who is 18 and older and works, and they are making below 83,350, you qualify for this program. The same, yeah, so if you want to go ahead and take a look, this information is also on the website, but if you're looking at this number and you see that you qualify, I encourage you to look more into this program and see if it's something that you can see yourself doing. And if you also participate in one or more of the following, you automatically qualify for Illinois Solar for All. And those programs are for SNAP. If you're in LIHEAP, you qualify for this program. If you're in the Illinois Housing Weatherization Assistance Program, you qualify for this program. If you're on Medicaid, you qualify for this program. So there are more than there. Yeah, there's a lot of programs that automatically qualify you for Illinois Solar for All. And for community solar, you can be a renter, a homeowner, or buildings owners that pay their own electricity bill and meet that meet 80% of the AMI. For residential solar, the second sub-program, a single-family residential property must be occupied by households that meet 80% of the AMI. Multifamily residentials, 2 to 4 units properties, at least 2 units occupied by households that meet 80% of the AMI. And multifamily residentials that are 5-unit or larger properties, at least half of those units must be occupied by households that meet 80% of the AMI. And here's more information for the nonprofits and public facilities. So they must be occupied by a nonprofit organization or owned and occupied by public facility. The location must be within a qualified environmental justice community or income eligible community. The nonprofit or public facility must be a critical service provider, such as a community center or childcare facility or hospital. And the nonprofit or public facility must be able to demonstrate community engagement to be in that program. And benefits to Illinois Solar for All is that you see savings. So electricity generated from your solar system or subscription to a community solar project goes back to the grid and you get credit on your next bill. So your bill will go down from the credits that come from the electricity generated by your installation and subscription. And the current consumer protections is a is a benefit. I feel like it's the best benefit from this program because all projects are developed and approved by solar companies, which are AVs, the approved vendors, and they must meet rigorous requirements and be passed through the process through Elevate, and they make sure that they have quality workmanship, financial protections, cost and savings requirements. There are marketing requirements, and all this is in a basic disclosure form that is understandable between the consumer and the approved vendor. And that is great. And that is one of the greatest benefits to Illinois Solar for All. And that protects consumers and of course provides education around this transition of renewable energy. And in that information, you'll have options in the disclosure forms. For example, you also have information about if your rooftop is not ready, there are home repair and upgrades initiatives through Illinois Solar for All, or you can talk about like a ground mounted style or a community solar. And the another benefit through participating in Illinois Solar for All is being part of something that is good for our environment. Solar energy reduces the amount of carbon dioxide and other pollutants that are emitted into the atmosphere. So that means less pollution results in cleaner air, cleaner water, and overall a clean, healthy environment for me and us and our community. And here's a picture of me and Tony Fuller, who helped apply for the Illinois Solar for All, and my information. So thank you so much for giving me this time. I know I went a little couple minutes after, but here is my information. If you have any questions, if you want to follow up or continue to provide feedback on how to continue to educate the community and get people to switch to renewable energy.
Awesome. Thank you, Myriam. We do have about 20 minutes or so for some questions. So folks on the live stream, you are welcome to type your questions right in the chat, and we'll make sure that they are asked. While folks are doing that, I think Vienna and I have actually, we're writing down our own questions that we have, so we can start with those. And the first one that I had was, and I'll also preface this with, I might know more than the average person because I have solar panels on my house. And also, before we got them, I subscribed to Community Solar. So I have both, which seems like maybe I don't need to do both. But I'm aware of and a participant in like both programs.
Wow, that's amazing. I have not heard that, but that's amazing. I did not.
Maybe I'm weird.
Oh, that's like reaching the maximum benefit of this program, like subscribing to Community Solar and having it on your home. What?
Yeah, I guess you can do both. There's nobody stopping you. So my question was, I'm really curious. I know Illinois Solar for All has been around since, you mentioned 2016, I think, when FEJA went into effect. Do you have a numbers or no numbers about how many people have benefited from the program since then? And do you know if there are any like areas of the state where it's being like particularly successful or more successful than other areas? Because I would imagine there's maybe like a social aspect to this. It's like if you see your neighbor has solar panels, then you might be more open to getting them on your home too.
Yeah, so sorry. Those are really good questions. And the first question, I can't give you the exact answer to how many have participated in the program, because I know they do have a report every year. And being this, I think this is like the fourth. So the program did start like in 2016, and I know the grassroots educators started their work in 2018. And even before then, there were people, I believe, enrolling into the program. So the number has changed, but I will get back to you with that answer about how many have already gone through the program. And your other question about how is it in other states? There are,
or rather in our state, like are there areas of our state where it's like really popular?
Okay, yeah, like because this is only a statewide program, so
right,
in the state of Illinois. there are now, I believe, 14 grassroots educators, and we meet monthly, and it seems like it varies, but mostly there are more homeowners into the program because there's not that many community solar projects available for people to sign up to. So the people who are seeing the most benefits of this program are homeowners, and those are usually people who live in, in rural areas of the state of Illinois. And yeah, there's some in the north side and the south side. So there's starting to become popularity around the program, especially now that there's more funding into Illinois Solar for All. And more education around this program. People are starting to identify with the program and starting to see that they qualify for this program, and they can get it on their roof or become a subscriber to community solar. So with that said, that we meet every month, like that's where there's a lot of things always changing. There's always less community solar participants, and then there's more community, and there's more homeowners that are interested, and then there's more community solar participants, and then there's less homeowners. So every year it has changed.
Thank you.
Absolutely. So in terms of homeowners, it looks like we have a question from the chat from one of our listeners asking, can you put solar on the roof of a 3-flat?
Of a 3-flat building?
I think so.
Yes.
So yeah.
Yes, you can do that, and who you would communicate with on exactly that layout, or where these solar panels will go, and what is the energy that you're going to see produced by these panels, wherever they're placed on your 3-flat, would be with an approved vendor. And even though I can't give you directly one person, I can lead you to people, to approved vendors that are in your area, or who are available, or who you can get in contact right away to give you this information, because you can. There are solar systems that are on really, I think there's a 3-flat on Blue Island and Western. That it's called Working Bikes. It's a nonprofit, and it's actually an organization. It's not a home, but there's opportunity to do that. So you can reach out to me, or you can reach out to Illinois Solar for All, and I can put you in contact with more than one approved vendor, or where you can find the one closest to your home that can work with you in getting you that information to see if this is something that you can start right away to start this transition to renewable energy. Yes, I hope that answered your question.
Yeah, I think so. I'll get the next one. So you'd mentioned in one of your earlier slides about sort of the process for like the solar panel, the sun shines and it goes into solar panels. Some people have batteries in their homes as well. Do you see a lot of people installing batteries in Illinois, or generally through this program or other programs?
Through this program, I have not seen batteries sold, and that is an agreement discussed around what is best for the consumer. But I have seen at my previous job as a private solar company, I would sell batteries, and it's possible you can buy a battery and you can connect that to your solar system, and it can store your electricity. That is, your battery is connected to your inverter. It's connected to your inverter. So, or your battery is yours. And I've seen it in private sales when I used to work, but not through this program. But it is possible. You can see it, and you can always look at solar companies that are through Illinois Solar for All, or that are not through the program, and just looking at more than one solar company to see what solar company is going to protect you and make it a positive experience to switch to renewable energy, because there are people who have had really negative experience, trying to save money on their electricity bill, trying to be part of something green, and it not being a positive experience, and that hurts, and that gets a lot of people, their guard up about switching to something like this. But the only way you can find that out is by looking at more than one solar company, and I can do that by providing the closest to your home, and yeah, continuing that communication, that relationship to something so new and so so good for our environment.
Thanks.
Yeah, so we can go on to see, it looks like this is one that you put in, Derek. Is it okay if I go ahead and
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah. So yeah, another question was kind of about the vendors and the installations, the incentives. So if participants like they don't pay up front, is it the state that pays the vendors to do the installations? And what kind of incentives do vendors have to participate?
What kind of incentives does the approved? Can you repeat that question again? I want to rephrase it, but I want to ask you to repeat it one more time, please. Bien.
Yeah, sure. So so the question is, let's say the participants don't pay up front, then is it the state that pays the vendors to do the installation? And I guess, can you talk more about the participation of the vendors? What kind of incentives do they have to participate? Maybe like what kinds of vendors have you seen participate?
Yes. So through this program, Illinois Solar for All, through the state, they have created something called a REC. It's a renewable energy credit, and this credit is worth something for approved solar companies to create projects with people who are living in environmental justice communities and people who need a job. So job trainees that are going through this program and are looking for jobs. These solar companies have to employ this population to work on these projects, and that's an incentive. Not having the REC, there is a certain amount for every REC, but that's all I have now to give you. So I can give you, maybe I can start you there, but I can also share more information around like what is the value of this. The abbreviation is called REC, but it's renewable energy credit, and that is what the approved solar company receives by participating in Illinois Solar for All. And that benefit is passed down to the consumer by paying zero down when they sign up for this program. And they'll see other benefits when they're having, depending on what kind of project they're choosing on their home, because every home is different. Its position in the sun it consumes, the amount of energy that is being used. So it's a really good relationship, and I'm so excited to even I would love to hear your experience, Derek, on how it was getting that whole process on your home. I can't wait to. I don't have energy, and I know that kind of discredits me. I don't have solar energy in my home. I'm still a renter, but I am subscribed to community solar, so I do receive that. But yeah, I'm just so happy that you're using both of them. So yeah, I'm here to help out.
Excellent. Yeah, I will just briefly say it was like a lot of work to figure out. There's a lot of things like, can my roof support the solar panels? And I had to get multiple quotes, and I had to get my roof inspected, and then I had to get work done on my roof, and I had to get those people to talk to the solar contractors, and it was kind of a lot, right?
Yeah.
Hopefully, I guess a program like this can help people navigate that process, because I think every home's kind of different, right? And there's different some common themes, I'm sure, but I'm sure there's just special cases for a lot of these a lot of different homes. There's not a one size fits all. Here's your solar panels in a box. There's a lot of work that goes into actually setting them up, right?
Mm-hmm. And do you know if you went through an Illinois Solar for All?
No, we didn't. We did the Illinois Shines program, so we got
okay.
basically paid. It was great because we got a nice check after we installed our panels from the state. That was basically we signed a thing that said we'll, promise to commit to producing like I think 15 years or something of solar energy from our panels. And then we got like a check for that was like, I think it was like something like about a third of the cost of the panel. So it was great. And like combine that with there was a federal like tax rebate as well. Like the price of the project was like less than half of like what the original like sticker price was. So yeah, even without Illinois Solar for All, which definitely Illinois Solar for All sounds way better because it's literally you don't have to pay anything up front, is what it sounds like. But even if you don't qualify for that, like the incentives are like pretty substantial. Even if you don't qualify for it.
Yes, thank you so much for sharing, Derek.
Yeah. I think there's a couple more questions in the chat that came up. And somebody's asking, are there examples of community solar cooperatives in Illinois? Most of the community solar efforts so far seem to be commercial vendors. So yeah, do you know if there's different kinds of cooperatives that are running community solar?
No, not through Illinois Solar for All.
Okay.
That is it is it is like it is really big, like commercial solar, it's community solar, nothing like cooperative. Yeah, but that's interesting. I can continue to ask information around that because that is, yeah, they definitely need it.
Cool. Got the next one, Vian?
Yeah, sure. So a couple more questions from our audience, and I think the process may differ depending on your home and a lot of factors. But one of the questions we had from the audience was, how long does the application process typically take?
From first contact to the energization of the solar project, at least 6 to 1 year. 6 months to like 1 year.
Mm-hmm.
And that's from first contact, from when you're first contacting the installer or just are sharing interest to the energization of the program, at least 6
Mm-hmm.
months to 1 year.
Mm-hmm. That sounds, mine was about the same. Like it was about like 6 months from like finding the vendors. I also had to wait because it was like wintertime and like they couldn't do roof work until it was like above freezing. So that also played a factor. So yeah, that doesn't sound too bad considering. Let's see. There's another question. Someone has a question. How does Solar for All address nuclear power requirements for the CEJA legislation? Does it have any impact on the nuclear industry's limits on solar in Illinois? I think my guess is that maybe that they don't have anything to do with each other, but I'm curious, yeah, if there is any connection between the state's renewable goals and nuclear power in this program.
No, not nuclear power, only the renewable energy, that goal. We do a lot of grassroots educators to this program. We do a lot of outreach to communities by attending community meetings, workshops, creating one-on-ones with organizations, community leaders, and just making connections with relationships with the community to educate the community about this program. And if they qualify to this program, they can enroll. But we do have, like I mentioned, we do have 14 nonprofit organizations that are grassroots educators, and their efforts are different from each other. They're participating in different things, but nothing that goes towards nuclear power. Just a renewable energy goal, which is providing awareness of what is renewable energy, what is solar energy, and how we can see savings in this program. That's what we're focused on more. The Illinois Solar for All program.
Cool.
Yeah. Derek, do you mind if I take a next one?
Oh, please, yeah.
Yeah, so Myriam, you mentioned a little bit about the 14 grassroots education like partners that also has. I'm actually coming from an education background, and we do a lot of like community-based work. So I'm curious just to hear more about how those efforts have gone. Because it's kind of a collective education for folks trying to understand like what the potential impacts are of having these installations and what that can do for community. So I guess the question is generally, can you talk a little bit more about the grassroots education efforts?
Yes, and what comes to mind is just, speaking one-on-one with people who share interest in what is a program, or like what am I talking about, and it's really how it's just like the what is it like the barrier of like this might be a scam. Like I've been through this before. Like I've talked to somebody telling me that I'm going to save money, and so trying to gain people's trust around like let me talk to you about your electricity bill and how you can save money is like it's very hard. So like so it has been like transitioning into what is renewable energy, like what does that look like, if we, because solar energy is possible, but it's not as attainable with like community solar. Like I mentioned, like community solar is not available unless there's a demand. Like there needs to be a demand for it to be fulfilled, and there's not that many community solar subscriptions through Illinois Solar for All. So like how am I talking to people about like this, how you can save energy, and actually being somebody that is relevant to their life, and that's talking about how we can transition from gas stoves, like gas heaters, to like electric, and how that is more healthier for our environment, and how we can just change a bulb to save money, and that it's those it's like being more relational about what is more realistic, like to the consumer. And that we're talking about solar energy, it's so much, and it has been hard to talk about something and then trying to build that trust to something that isn't readily available, like something they can't see right away. Like, yeah, you're right, like this is something that's giving me money, like returning my money, and I feel good about it. So yeah, it's a lot of like being that energy, or being that that just the new vision, because this transition to renewable energy has not happened before. We have never seen it before, and trusting people to talk about how you're going to save money in your electric bill and how it's better for our environment is hard for people, and just building those relationships is very much needed. So I do a lot of like one-on-ones with people, and having the other nonprofits also share their work and what their efforts are and how we can work together to continue to build these relationships is what has helped, like having those like statewide, like those relationships, and how we can continue to build those relationships, and what barriers are we having to strengthen that relationship, because it's work that needs to be done, is having conversations with people who don't know what's going on with their electric bill. I want to like save money, and just don't want to make sure that they're not being scammed through the process, and yeah, those are I hope that answered your question about like what are the grassroots efforts. Like they're just transitioning, at professional development, that is important, and just like the statewide.
Yeah, absolutely. Wasn't looking for a single, right answer, just your experiences doing this. That, yeah.
I think that might be a good note to end on, because it is just a little bit so we're right at 8 o'clock. So I think we'll leave it there. But Myriam, thank you so much for giving this presentation and answering our questions. And I hope folks who are watching get a chance to read through the materials and maybe reach out and see if they qualify for this program, because I think everybody, it sounds like there's a path for almost everybody to do something, right, to benefit from solar energies. The sun shines on all of us, right? So there's
Yeah.
different opportunities that sound like people can jump on. So thank you again for being here. And I think we will be transitioning to the civic hacking portion of the evening. Thanks, Josh. We got the slide up. We'll share this link in the chat, but we're gonna, in fact, I think I just saw the Zoom call for breakout groups has just started. So if you want to head over there now, you're welcome to do so. We'll drop the link in the chat. But thank you again. And I guess Vian, we got to say the catchphrase.
You want to see the catchphrase?
Yeah. All right. All right, let's do it. Go for
Worse than hack.